Janeesa. I am a first grade teacher here in Honolulu, Hawaii, and today is our very first official day back for students. So prior to this, it was all like teacher trainings and orientations and meetings, and then this past week was all for like student orientation. So we worked with students in like small groups just to teach them how to use the different websites that we plan to use this school year, especially right now. The students are going to be at home, but all teachers are on campus, which is actually really nice. I actually prefer to work on campus because this is where all of my teaching things are. And it's just convenient and easy to have, you know, whiteboard space and all my picture books and all of my supplies just here ready for me. So I'm actually really grateful that we can still be in our classrooms and not at home. Also because our apartment is really small, it's a 1-bedroom, and me and my husband are both teachers, and it would have been really challenging to do our virtual meetings in a 1-bedroom apartment. So yeah, very happy. Today was, like I said, our first day, and it is now 9:30, so I did my first meeting with my students at 8 o'clock, and then we just went over our Webex rules and expectations, and then I did a read aloud for first aid jitters just to kind of see you know, how my kids can sit through a read aloud, which actually all of them did. I was super impressed. I asked them questions, you know, as I read, just to see, you know, who wants to raise their hand and share their answer. They were kind of shy, which I expected since it's the first day and they don't really know their classmates as well as, you know, they would if they were actually in person and seeing each other. But, you know, we're hoping to build just kind of a classroom community this week and get to know the kids. So after my kids logged off, I had to make a quick tutorial for our parents. This is, you know, on top of everything going on with working from home and doing all of that, we also picked up a brand new program, iReady, which, if you don't know what it is, it's basically a reading and math assessment diagnostic program, as well as kind of like an intervention program that provides lessons for students at their level based on their diagnostic, which is really nice and I'm sure will be very helpful this year. And so because it's the first day or first year that we're using it and they're learning from home, I wanted to make a quick video for the parents to kind of explain like the iReady assessments and how to get logged in and all of that. So film that, and then my kids are going to jump back in at 10 o'clock. We have our Hawaiiana class, and then we're going to do a quick little activity, which I'm going to show you right now. So for today, we are going to do a quick activity for our class expectations. So I'm just going to make this, I made this Google slide for them for us to complete together, and they're just going to share their answers. Again, I want to keep this kind of interactive. So the first question is, how should classmates treat each other? The second is, what does a great class look like? And what does a great class sound like? And then the last one is, what should Mrs. Imamura do to be a great teacher for our class? And so I just wanted to get ideas from the students and hear, you know, what they think a good classroom should look like. And I'm gonna try to frame this or keep this as a virtual class, and then when we come back to school in person, then I'm hoping to do this activity again, but have it be for in-person expectations. So this way the students can kind of feel like they have a say in what our expectations are for the classroom. Hey everybody, so it is now 11:39. I just got off a phone call and wanted to get you caught up with the day. So I just got off a Webex meeting with my kids that was at 10 o'clock, and that was for Hawaiiana. So Hawaiiana is from 10 to 10:30, and then I was going to go over the class expectation rules and try to brainstorm some expectations together as a class. But I realized after Hawaiiana, my kids just were done with Webex. So I don't think that I can schedule like 2 sessions back to back. the way that I did today, which is good to know so that I can make adjustments for next week's schedule. So I think from now on, I'm just going to have the kids do Hawaiiana and then maybe like independent work time, or they can read a book or do something like that on their own off of Webex, eat lunch, and then come back on at 12. So I'm glad to kind of have that figured out, because man, their attention span was like 5 minutes and they were done, which, you know what, their age of a first grader makes sense. So now I am just eating my lunch really quick, and then I am going to start my individual assessments with my students at 12. So the parents were able to tell me like what date and times work for them, and then I'm pulling students on Webex one at a time for about half an hour, and I'm just gonna, you know, get to know the kid a little bit one-on-one, and then we are going to practice reading and answering some questions so that I can figure out their reading level. So I'm gonna show you how I'm gonna do that. All right, so we are very fortunate to have the Raz Kids program. And within the Raz Kids program, they have an assessment, like a benchmark assessment passage with some questions for each of the levels. So I printed out like all the levels from AA all the way, ooh, it's falling, all the way to, I think, I. And so basically there is a passage that the students would read, and then it comes with the scorecard for their running record. And then for the higher levels, I think it starts on B, there are some questions that you can ask the students to answer as about the passage that they just read. So the really cool thing about iReady is that the passages are like presentable, so I can share my screen and then the student can read the passage. And then the questions are not presentable, but I figured I can just kind of ask them. Depending on the level of the kid, I may or may not give them the multiple choice answers and just kind of see what they share. So I'm going to have every student start at level C, because C is the beginning of the year level for first grade. So I'm going to just show this to them, have them try to read it and see how they do. And then based on that, see if I should move them up to a higher level or down for a lower level. And then we'll just kind of go from there. I also printed out the score sheet for the sight words list. So I do have a few students who are, you know, not where they should be at regarding their sight words. And so for them, I definitely want to just kind of go through the sight word lists and make sure that I know where they're at so that the students can practice at home if needed. So it's a lot to go through in 1.5 hour session, but I'm hoping we just kind of can jam our way through it and get a lot of good data done so that next week we can start our small groups. So hopefully the timing of everything will work out and that my students are like on their A game and ready and willing to work, especially because it is one-on-one. So I'm hoping there will be way less distractions for them in our meeting. So we'll see how it goes. Hey everybody, it is Tuesday, August 25th. It is 9:30 and I finished up my morning Zoom or Webex meeting with my students. And today we read the book, What Does It Mean to Be Kind? And I've lost my mind and I don't know where it is. Hold on. Okay, I found it. So the book we read is What Does It Mean to Be Kind by Reina D'Orio. I think that's how you say her name. We read that book, and then my students are being asked to do a kindness square. So everybody got like a piece of cardstock with their school supplies, and then they are going to draw a picture of a situation that shows kindness, and then they're going to write one sentence at the bottom. And so I told my students to try to finish it by 10 o'clock so that when we all jump back in for our 10 o'clock Zoom, they can hold up their picture on the computer, and then I can do like a screenshot and then have, you know, just some fun pictures for them to have, just kind of document the school year, because I know it's really funky right now. So yeah, that's what we did this morning, or that's what I explained to my students this morning. And then I also taught them how to color in their pictures. So let me show you that real quick. So I ended up putting it on the bulletin board behind me so that when we do our virtual meetings, my students can see it. So we went through the different pictures and why it's like a 1-star, why this one is a 2-star, and why this one is a 3-star. And I held it up for the students to see, and then they were able to explain like, okay, this one is not a very good picture because like it's coloring outside the lines and the colors don't make sense because the trees aren't supposed to be blue. And it doesn't have a lot of details. And this one, you know, they were like, I don't even know if that's supposed to be a tree. And then this one, they said like there's a lot of colors and a lot of details. And so just wanted to go over the visual with the kids and just, you know, kind of set the expectations for what good first grade art should look like. Okay, so right now, since I have about half an hour before my next Webex meeting, I am just trying to plan out my lessons and my Google Slides for next week. I made my own like lesson planner sheets on Google Docs just because the schedule right now is just so funky and so weird, and I just wanted to have a planner that I knew would have like all the different time slots that I needed. So I'm plugging in the activities that our grade level has planned and have decided to talk about next week, and then now I'm just trying to find like filler activities to fill up the time that the students can work on when they are not on Webex with me. So next week at 8, we always start with like a story. I'll read the story to them and then they'll do an activity with it. We haven't really done a lot of like reading comprehension type activities. We're just trying to get them into back to school mode, and you know, show them how to use all the technology that we have and get into the habit of, you know, reading a story and completing an assignment. And then next week we are also going to start our math lessons with stepping stones, and so we'll see how that goes. And then I do have an open block from 12 to 12:30, so I'm just trying to see if there's like some social studies or science lessons that I can start doing with my students and just kind of plan that in for the day. So I'm just finding some books on Epic, which if you don't have Get Epic, the school version, you need to. It is amazing. They have a ton of books, and some of them are even like read aloud books, which is great for especially first grade when the students don't have the best like fluency decoding skills. And so I'm looking for some books and that match like our science and social studies for the first quarter, so that once it's time to start teaching those lessons, like I have it and it's ready to go. So now I am going to work on my Google Slides and just kind of get the templates ready, and so I will know what videos I will need to film for my Google Slides later on this week. So lots to do today. All right, so what I love about Epic is that you can sort through the books that they have available in their system. You can sort it through like Fontes and Pinnell levels. You can sort it by books that are read aloud, or like they call it read to me, so that the book is there and then this there's like an audio recording in the background that will actually read the story. And as you can see, there's a ton of picture books. You can search by author, title, or keyword. So right now I just found books about community rules and laws and things like that. And then even with here, or within this, you can sort by like fiction, nonfiction, the age of your students. If you want even just plain audiobooks, they have that available to you. And so yeah, I just really like the program, and all the books that they have available, and it's really easy to plan for like all this virtual learning. So I basically just give the students a link to the book. So I will just share it and then click on copy link here. And then in my slides, so say for example, I wanted them to read the book here, I can just put the link like this, and then I can hyperlink it. Oh, it's really hard to do this. And then the students will just be able, on their slide, they can click on the link and it will take them directly to their story. And they'll just click on start reading, and then yeah, they can get started. So that's why I really love Epic and all the features that it has. It's just super easy to go through. So if you don't have Epic, you definitely should get it. All right, it is officially the end of day 2 of our at-home learning. I wanted to share one of the games that we played. We played this or that, or I guess it's kind of like would you rather mixed in with this or that. And yeah, so I found this idea from, I forget her name, but she's on YouTube. So I took her idea. I will leave it tagged or linked down below in the description box, but I stole her idea for Would You Rather, and this is what I came up with. All right, so she put in her slides originally 2 different Bitmojis, and then the students would copy that in the virtual meeting so that you know like which one they chose. So I just did like 1 hand up and then 2 hands up for mine. And so this was my template, like dogs or cats. And then the kids would do either 1 hand for dogs or 2 hands for cats. So that is what we played, and the kids had a ton of fun playing that. So yeah, right now I'm going to continue working on my slides and building my slides for next week. I'm not gonna film my like tutorial videos that I include with my slides. I'm just gonna kind of build them and make sure like everything is linked and everything is working, and just kind of plan out activities that I'm gonna have the kids do. And then tomorrow when we do our grade level meeting, then I'll be able to figure out like how to plug in the rest of the time, and then I'll do my videos on Thursday. And Friday we don't have students because it is a planning and collaboration day. So it's a nice short week for us here. So I'm thankful for that. Just make sure that all of my slides are working. So today I'm going to try this morning meeting slide. So I'm going to show this to the kids. This will be on present mode when the kids come into our Webex meeting, and this way they know exactly what they need to get and what settings they need to have for our Webex meeting. And then I also have the Google Slides for today up and ready to go, so that I can just kind of click through this and, you know, just remind the students what our expectations are and how the slides work. And then the last thing I need that I have up is our read aloud on Epic. Today we're going to read the story First Grade Stinks, and then the students are going to do a writing about their first grade wish, so what they're hoping first grade is going to be like. And then I strongly recommend that you make a sample like Google account, I guess, for your students, so that you can log into this account and be a student and show the students exactly what they will see when they log into Google Classroom. So this is my fake student, grade 1. My name is grade 1, and so that way when you click on it, you can show the kids exactly what
like Google Classroom is going to look like and the different features of it as a student and not as a teacher, because as a teacher you can't get to this screen, and so that way you can show them like, okay, find your work and click on whatever's underneath it, and you know, make sure to press the turn in button and things like that. I have found super helpful for the students and especially the parents, because you know, our students in first grade are so young and they don't really know how to navigate it. So for me to be able to show the parents like, hey, this is what it should look like, it's been very, very helpful for them. So yeah, that is my tip. Make a fake student account.
All right, first Webex meeting at 8 o'clock went really, really well. We set up our writing notebook, and then they did their first grade wish writing, where they just choose, you know, what it is that they want to do in first grade, what they want to accomplish in first grade. And then I made a mistake when I was stuffing our student folders with their papers that they needed for the first quarter for drive-by supply pickup. One of my students did not get his notebook covers in his folder. So I now need to go mail him a set so that he has it. And yeah, just kind of bummed that I missed a student, and then I felt really, really bad. But he was totally cool with it. Mom was totally cool with it. They understand that the situation is just nuts right now. So very grateful for their patience. So I'm gonna head to the office so that I can go mail these. Hey everybody, it is Thursday, August 27th, and it is actually 1:49, so it is the end of the day. Today was kind of the same as the rest of the week. We did a read aloud activity with Clark the Shark, which if you haven't read yet, you should definitely read with your students. It is an amazing story that talks a lot about like self-control and staying cool and not letting your body like take over and be like impulsive. And so after I read the story, I practiced with my students how to sit nicely and how to have self-control when we are on our virtual meetings. And you know, it was just fun. Like I would tell them, okay, lose control, and they would get all crazy, and then I would tell them, stay cool, and then they would have to sit back down nicely. And so the students had fun with that. And then in our middle block, we played a game of scavenger hunt, which was so much fun. I just kind of mixed in like silly things that I thought like everybody would have. So I told them like, get a pair of shoes, get a book, get a notebook, or even things like get a square of toilet paper. That one they definitely had fun with. And then after that, we had our virtual PE class with our school's PE teacher. And it was really cute. Like a lot of the kids even like went outside onto their balcony or in their yard, and they were doing their stretches and their like activities there. So I think they had a lot of fun. And then the last part of the day, I've just been continuing my one-on-one assessments with my students and making sure like I have accurate like reading data and their sight word data, and making sure the kids are, or I have a good understanding of where the kids are at with their reading skills. So that is now done. Tomorrow, which is Friday, is actually a PC day, or like professional development day. So we actually won't have students. We'll just be in like meetings all day and trainings all day. So it's kind of nice to just have a break from the kids. But there's still a lot to get done. So I need to be out of here by like 4:15 because our school is closing actually a little earlier today, and so I need to get some work done. I finished up kind of the skeleton of my schedule and like classwork slides for next week, but I do want to get a jump start on my video tutorials that I need to record so that I can just make those videos in iMovie, edit them, put it together, and then add them to my slides so that I'm ready to go for next week. So yeah, it's a lot to do. I kind of just want to get the footage done today so that we're ready. And then if I want to edit tonight, or if I need to edit even over the weekend, I have the footage already done. So that is my plan for the rest of the day, is just film all my tutorials for the week. I realize it's definitely adding up, but I know that my parents really enjoy it, at least right now. They like seeing a video in case they don't make it to our Webex meetings, or they're not able to sit in on our Webex meetings. At least that way they can watch the tutorial and know exactly what to do. So that is the plan for like the next 2 hours. So I'm gonna go to the office so I can fill up my water bottle, come back and start filming. Here we go.